Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to do a full review of Discovery Cove in Orlando, Florida. Discovery Cove opened in 2000 and it is an all-inclusive day resort owned by SeaWorld and Busch Gardens company. The cost we paid is $200 each. That included all you can drink and it included dolphin excursion for my husband and I. So it was $400 total for the day. You are able to get there at 7:30 a.m. for check-in. We got there around 8:05 and I would say the line was about 30 minutes to get through the check-in. It's like a hotel check-in. At the desk, they give you the time for your excursion, they give you the time for your lunch, and they give you a map and a lanyard that you must be wearing at all times at Discovery Cove. Our Dolphin time was 1:45 p.m. and they tell you that when you check in. So it doesn't seem like you have the option to pick your excursion time. They tell you it at the front desk. As you are walking through the pathways of Discovery Cove, it is absolutely breathtaking. It takes you out of Florida and it almost is like you are in some tropical country far away from here. The first thing that you walk to do after you get checked in is you go to the breakfast buffet. Like I said, check-in starts at 7:30 a.m. And right after that, you can go get breakfast. Everybody eats, around the same time. The breakfast does go until 10:30 a.m. We wanted to get it done before 9 a.m. because at 9 a.m. all the water stuff opens. So you do have a little bit of time to get in there and get settled before 9 a.m. and everything opens. Like I said, it is a buffet style, so essentially you have tons of options depending on what you're hungry for and what you normally like to eat. I'll show you the options here in a second, but I do find that with breakfast and lunch and the snacks, they have plenty of options for everyone, even a picky eater. The first thing that we did was set our bags down and go to the snorkeling area. They do give you lockers that you can get for free, but we just laid our stuff down and people didn't bother it, of course. You also do change into those wetsuits. You either have to have a wetsuit, which was shown that we were in earlier, or a vest like this person has in front of us right now. The second half of the day, we just put the vest on because it was really warm out. But right when we got there at 9 a.m. for the snorkeling, I really enjoyed having on the full wetsuit because it was a little colder, and the snorkeling water is quite cold because obviously the fish live in it. So it has to be the temperature that they normally live in. Whereas the lazy river, which is shown here, and other waterways like the Serenity Bay, they are heated. So they're nice and warm. Here we are after lunch going to the otter show. So they do have different shows with the animals through the day. They had an otter enrichment show. They had a marmoset show, which was the little monkeys. And they have different times where they have shows at the aviary. We love to see the animals, so we went ahead and went to all of those shows, starting with the otter show. The otter show essentially was the trainer feeding the otters. It only took a couple minutes to watch, but it was really cute to watch them fight and wrestle over the food. The 4 otters that they have there are mom, dad, and little babies. The 2 babies are about a year old each, and they are seriously too cute. They also are in their own little tank, and you can see the tank is filled with fish, but they don't normally hunt them a lot because they know they're going to get their food from the trainer a couple times a day. But you can see them, playing with each other and eating, and it is a really cute show to go to. So the otter area and the monkey area are all connected in what's called Serenity Bay. So this is just a pool that you can lounge around in and swim. It is heated, so the water's really, really nice. You can bring your lazy river little rafts over. I did also film the marmoset show. That trainer she was amazing. I asked her 5 or 6 questions about the little monkeys, and she was really cool, and she goes into detail about their, eating habits and living habits there, and it's a really nice show to go to. It's about 10-15 minutes long if you go to each of those shows. They do have the otter and the marmoset show a few times a day. So I also showed the bar. We did get the Florida resident package, and it added on like a free drink package for the day because we were Florida residents. So that was really fun. And they have so many drinks to choose from. It's definitely not like only a couple options. The bartenders are probably the most friendly bartenders and nice staff in general that you'll ever meet in your life, and especially in 2021 where I haven't had good customer service in a long time. You will definitely get it at Discovery Cove. Everyone, even when they just pass you walking, they'll say, "Hey, I hope you're having a great day." Like, they are the nicest staff. The hiring standards and hiring quality of Discovery Cove team members is impeccable. You just feel so good all day. I did notice like a couple people that they came on their birthday. I think their lanyards must have been a different color because every single team member that would pass them would literally say happy birthday to them, and they were so sweet. Even if you talk to the lifeguards, normally at like other water parks, the lifeguards won't even look at you or talk to you. These lifeguards talk to you, and they'll be so sweet and nice and answer all your questions. It's really cool. This is the aviary, so we did feed a couple birds. I'm pretty scared of birds, but I was able to feed the littlest one there. I don't even know I think he snuck in. I don't even think that one was supposed to be in there because the other ones were a lot bigger than him. But I did feed a bird. Joe was initially scared, but he ended up feeding a bird too, which you'll see here in a second. And they do give everybody food to feed the birds. I believe around midday they do change it from like bird feed to fruit, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, if you want the bird to come to you, you basically just hold out your little cup of food and they just jump right on you. It's a really cool experience. As you can see, this little bird and Joe became fast friends. He wouldn't leave Joe's arm for like 5 minutes, and then everyone else started coming around him to feed the bird on Joe's arm, like Joe was the perch. It was really cute. I would say, you might want to take 15 to 25 minutes to go to this area of the park. The park didn't look that big, so I was actually skeptical at first that there would be enough stuff to do all day, but boy, was I wrong. I ended up, wanting there to be hours and hours and hours more left to the day with everything that was there. Got my little Truly. So like I said, you do have to wear either a wetsuit or a vest. But if you want to change it throughout the day, all you do is you just drop your wetsuit off in the wetsuit return area and you get a new one. It's right beside the lockers. There's multiple stations of these throughout the park, and also the same thing with your scuba gear. We did use our scuba gear in the morning, and then we set it down somewhere and forgot about it, and they cleaned it up during the day, so we just got more scuba gear. So in the area of the scuba diving, they call that the Grand Reef. Right behind it is the area where you do the shark dives. So I took a picture of the sharks in this area. We were here a couple times during the day. I didn't see anyone doing this dive specifically, it is an add-on charge, but you can dive with the sharks. I was a little too scared for that. I'm not a huge fan of sharks, so we did not add that one on. There's also another add-on you can do, the Sea Venture, and I believe it is with the sharks as well, but in addition to the stingrays and other fish that are in the Grand Reef, and you have a full helmet on. So you can obviously go down a little bit lower and see the animals and such with that full scuba helmet on, and you do not need a scuba diving certification. So that one looked really cool too, although I didn't see anyone set up for that one either. But those are options that you can add on, and those are, like I said, behind the Grand Reef. You can see that obviously a lot of people are out snorkeling, but it still does not feel too crowded. You are never really running into people or, in huge areas with tons of people. So it always feels like you are going on a slow day to the park with how they book everything. So that part of it is really, really nice. This one part was a little scary because the stingrays kept circling Joe because it was almost lunchtime and they thought he was going to feed them. So they circled him. We ended up buying the underwater swim pack for your camera. It was $35, but since we are SeaWorld members, we did get 20% off, which was nice. But I do suggest buying one, obviously, before you go to the park, a waterproof camera if you do want to get some home video footage for your friends and family. Some of these fish in here were huge. Look at this one ahead. So I showed some footage of the dolphin area. You weren't allowed to film in the dolphin section because they obviously wanted to take professional photos of you, and plus your phone, sometimes dolphins will eat phones if you dropped it or something. They're very quick, so they don't want you to have phones in there, but you can buy a package with photos, which is what we did for our dolphin excursion. It is about 1 hour, so our dolphins were running a little bit late, so our dolphin time was 1:45. We ended up having to come back at 2:10. So we just had a drink and came back. So that was about 2:10, and then it ran to about 3:10. So you have about 15 minutes of a little walk through, basically history of the dolphins, safety. You do have to take off all your jewelry. several people there were complaining about that. And kind of rude to the shark trainer. I felt a little bit bad, but we knew that ahead of time because I did watch a tip video. So we didn't even wear our jewelry to come. And it's probably better off that way anyway, since you're in the water the whole time. This is the lazy river, which is the longest and best lazy river in all of Florida. I think we've probably been to most of them at this point. Actually, it was our favorite lazy river of all time besides Geauga Lake. And this was so cool. So you don't really get wet through the whole lazy river. It is just a meandering lazy, and you have those little floaties that you lay on or lean on. But there are two major waterfalls in the entrance and exit to the aviary. As you can see here, there are just birds flying around you. You're actually in the aviary. So when you go in and out, they have those waterfalls so the birds don't leave, which is really, really cool. But that waterfall is pretty intense. Just a side note, and there's no way around it really, because like I said, you are, it's for the birds. So other than that, to circle the full lazy river, I want to say it took us about 35 to 45 minutes each time just to go around the lazy river. I wish I could have gone around 6 more times, because look how gorgeous it is. And obviously they have the bottom like rocks, and it's really like you are going through a real river in some tropical location. So it's just such a fun time, and you can really just meander down that lazy river, and it's so much fun. So we had a drink, then we were putting slushy in it. It was seriously so good. We ended up buying the Dolphin package. You can see we had beautiful photos. I think it was $100 for 5 photos, but well worth it. I would pay for this experience over and over again. Thank you guys for